Check, check. How's everybody doing? Somebody give me a quick clap if you can hear me, or a thumbs up or something.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Even better. How's it going, Batihan?
Yeah, thank you.
Good, man. Good. Thank you. All right, cool. We got people in, waiting for the Twitter to catch up. We got a couple of requests. Let's see. All right, guys. I got some requests to speak, which I'm going to approve. But for right now, I'm going to start by kind of going over the whole concept and everything behind the doc bond. But we'll give another minute or two for people to join in, and we'll explain to you guys what it's all about. Thank you. Okay, cool. So it looks like we're also recording this as well. So people who aren't able to make it right now are going to be able to catch the recording a little bit later. Thank you, guys. We'll give one more minute and we'll get going. I like being on time, so we'll get this thing rolling. Happy Sunday to everybody, though. Thank you guys for joining us on this Sunday afternoon here in California afternoon. For a lot of you guys, it's probably a little bit later. But again, thank you for taking time to join us. And we're getting super close to October 1st, which is a big date for us. We got the token release happening October 1st through KDL. They're also going to be giving the redistribution tokens, too, for everybody that invested. But we'll give more on all that here in just a minute. Okay, cool. So we're going to have people manning the chats for questions. Right here in the Twitter space, we'll allow people to, come up and speak. If you guys got any questions, I think Batihan will be able to control anybody speaking on Telegram as well. So we'll go ahead and get it going. Okay, so the first thing is that we want to talk about is what's coming up over the next couple days. We've been working really hard on our end to put out minted and some other quality stuff. A lot of things in the works that are going to really help with, providing more infrastructure here on Kadena as far as tools that you're going to need to use in your everyday life. The first being Minted, the NFT marketplace. Also, we have the Doc DeFi wallet that is underway right now and we've been building on. And we're really excited to be able to provide some cool Marmalade NFTs that also come alongside with a little bit of utility. With that utility, and these NFTs, we're providing other ways to give access to special content for NFT holders. So there's just a ton of stuff we've been working on and that we've been planning out. And moving forward, we're super excited to keep getting the Docushield app underway. I know we have a lot of people who are node operators, and we kind of put things on pause for a minute. We'll go ahead and explain, why that was, what happened, and what we're doing with Docushield moving forward. But essentially, the proof of concept behind the node operations was proven. It was good. Now we got to focus on putting out some customized nodes that are going to be able to use everybody's PC to the best, to its best advantage. So if you have a lot of memory on the PC or, you got a lot of processing power, we want to have a node profile that's going to play into that and give you the most rewards, but also give the network the most benefit. But I think the first thing we want to go through and the most important thing right here that has been causing a few questions, I would say, is the doc bond. How exactly that works, whether or not that it affects anybody's tokens from the first IDO and all that stuff. So we'll go ahead and start at the top and the IDOs and why we didn't do a second one. So KDL was awesome, with the first IDO. And if I could pick a partner to do anything with, it would be KD Launch. They've been professional as hell, and it's just been a great experience all around. So it had nothing to do with KD Launch specifically. The choice to not do a second IDO was pretty much taking the market into consideration and then taking our own goals here internally into consideration. And, when you do a marketing event, promoting an IDO, it eats up a lot of resources. And, we're so far in the thick of building right now that it seemed like it would be taking a step, like we'd be backpedaling kind of by taking that time off to do a second IDO. So, the opportunity was presented to us and we're forever grateful for that. But, with Minted coming out and us being so close to, getting right there and being able to pretty much launch this product, I mean, pushing back any further seemed just like not the way to go. But at the same time, we did what we said we would do is, and we kept all of our funds that were allocated to us in KDA. And we cashed out every 2 weeks to do payroll and cover expenses. As we all know, the price of KDA made a pretty big drop. When it was released to us, it was at about $1.97. Now it's, between what, 130 something and 50 something, and it's cool. I mean, we've been frugal. We've played our part with the best of what we could do. A second IDO would definitely have helped bring more cash in to keep development and keep the pace that we're building. But, at the same time, when we're building these technologies, we're figuring out that there's other ways to do things, and it's going to showcase the power behind, these NFTs on Marmalade that we're actually building. So that's when the concept of the Doc Bond came out. So the Doc Bond pretty much would be an NFT that represents a portion of Docushield tokens. And in this case, we decided to do 100,000 Docushield tokens. And that works out to the price of 250 KDA at the IDO price. Now, it's pretty important to stress that when I say at the IDO price, that doesn't mean after the redistribution. We didn't sell out the first IDO, which is perfectly fine. But we took the rest of those tokens that were not sold and we redistributed them throughout the people that did purchase. So they were able to get about an extra 30%, 40%, something like that. I'd have to look at the exact numbers, added to the allocation. So instead of it being 400, it ended up being around 620 Doc tokens per KDA, which, is great. I mean, we did that out of a goodwill gesture to the people that purchased. And we're still super happy about being able to, provide a little extra surprise for all of those holders. And so, those tokens will be released. We will be released on October 1st. And that has nothing to do with the bonds whatsoever, right? That's completely different. And you guys will get your tokens. You'll be able to go provide liquidity. You'll be able to do whatever you guys want with those tokens, just as you would with any other token on the market. Now, when it comes to the Doc Bond, this was a way that we created something to first show off utility for the NFT, but also to continually fund the projects that we're building. Building is expensive. Developers aren't cheap, and we like to treat our team right and, make sure that everybody gets taken care of. So with that being said, we're looking at another way to drive revenue. And of course, Mint It being a new platform on there, we're anticipating a good amount of traffic and a good amount of revenue to come through there. But will that cover, what we need to, for monthly payroll? For all of our developers, for the moderators, for the team here, for our accounting, for legal, for all the stuff that comes with creating, a startup in the crypto space. It would be cutting it pretty close, So first of all, to create a little bit of cushion for the team here and to not be so, stressed and keep it clean and stressed out about the payroll every week and where KDA is going to sit, when we need to start dishing out money every Friday. We're like, okay, well, let's build the kitty back up and offer something cool. And that's where we we put together the doc bond. So without doing the second IDO, which was supposed to have 140 million tokens, we sat back and thought, okay, what can we do to raise money with this? And also to not affect the tokenomics that have been set forth that we firmly believe in. And that's where we came up with this bond concept. And so in total, here's kind of how it works. I'm going to go through the bullet points that are presented in the Medium article. So there's going to be a total of 1,000 NFTs that are available for mint. Each one of these NFTs is going to be priced at 250 KDA. Right now, if you do the math, 400 times 250 comes out to our 100,000 doc tokens. That's how we got the numbers. So that's the IDO price before we did any token redistribution or any of the 12% APR that we gave to the initial investors. So these doc tokens that are going to be essentially represented in these NFT doc bonds are going to be placed into a public wallet after the token distribution. And we're going to update that with the wallet link once that happens in October 1st, if you're looking at the Medium article. And then starting on November 1st, 2022, up until November 1st, 2023, we're going to offer NFT staking for all holders. So what that means is you take that NFT that you purchased, between now or between the 27th of this month and November 1st, you go to, our staking website, which we'll have the link for. We'll release the link for shortly. And you'll be able to stake that down. Now, as soon as you stake down that NFT, we have a cool staking contract that the team's been working on. Once you stake that down, we start accumulating the doc tokens at a 50% APR, right? So as soon as that's staked, now you can claim that as soon as you unstake that APR. That could be on a daily basis. You can go unstake it, collect, then restake it down, keep accumulating more doc tokens, or you can leave it staked, let those accumulate, and it'll all be at a 50% APR. Regardless. I mean, if you unstake it for a month, put it on the secondary marketplace, you would be missing out on those APR rewards or those doc token rewards during that time that it is unstaked. That's pretty much just how the contract works. Once unstaked, the rewards will be released and claimable within the staking site. The NFT can be staked once again, or sold on the secondary market. Kind of repeating myself, but I'm just kind of reading through the bullet points right here. Now, on November 1st, 2023, all of the 100,000 doc tokens that are represented with the NFT are going to be released and become claimable by whoever is holding that NFT bond at that time. So those 100,000 tokens, along with any unclaimed rewards, will all be claimable right there, November 1st, 2023. So what this does for us and what the benefit is for us is, first of all, locking up those doc tokens for a year ensures that they're not going to flood the market and they're not going to drive down the price of the doc token. We're going to have a ton more utility, in a year's time. I mean, if we think back to the end of the IDO back in June and where we're at now, I mean, we've made great strides. And by the time we get to a year from now, I mean, I already know just with our roadmap that we're going to have a ton of use for the doc token, and I'm super excited about it. So allowing us to give people the opportunity to make this APR and also help us out by keeping those tokens off of the market and kind of locked up, it helps the stability of the token so that not so many tokens are dumped. I mean, when there's not much use for a token on the market, a lot of times people get uneasy and they do what they play around with it. So they'll dump and repurchase and dump and repurchase. I mean, I've been a token holder. I know how it goes. You get antsy. So locking those up really does all of us kind of a benefit. Now, early staking will be open mid-October for those who wish to stake their NFT for a full year. Now, early staking is going to provide an additional 30 days worth of rewards that are going to be airdropped to those users after November 1st, 2023 unlock date. This option will only be available prior to the November 1st, 2022 contract initiation. So we're going to have the site live for you guys to stake it down. Now, if you stake it down before October 1st, and we're going to, put, of course, a disclaimer there, that means you're agreeing to stake it down for the entire year. And in turn, we're going to offer you an additional 30 days worth of rewards. Now, all of this stuff we looked at really closely, and we made sure that it tied into our tokenomics that were presented. And you can still find an unedited version of those tokenomics on our Medium page. So, we're digging a little bit into the reserves to provide some of the APR, possibly if, everybody decides to stake for those additional 30 days. But still, it's an amount that we're able to support with the existing tokenomics. So we're super happy about that. I mean, 50%, to some may not seem like a lot, but when you're looking at the financial industry, 50% APR is crazy amount. Now, I guess the big elephant in the room is the price of KDA right now and the price of DOC versus KDA and how we're letting it go. Like, I know that right now we're in a bearish market, and I know that the USD value of KDA has fallen since, the IDO was initially presented. I mean, trust, we feel it. Definitely. We feel it when we look at our account every week. That being said, nobody knows where the price of KDA is going to be tomorrow, next week, much less a year from now, right? So it only makes sense for us to pair up the price of DOC versus KDA, because one KDA will always be one KDA, right? But one KDA will sometimes be, $1 worth of USD, or sometimes be $10 worth of USD. We don't know. I mean, the market's crazy. So all we can do, we're building here on Kadena. All we can do right now is peg the price of DOC versus Kadena. It makes no sense for us to guess. We're not in the game of guessing. I'm not even in the game of day trading. Honestly, I'm horrible at it. But we're not in the game of guessing where the token's going to be. All I know is one KDA is one KDA, and it's going to stay that way. Now what the market, what happens to the market between here and then, none of us know. As much as some people like to claim they do, none of us really know where it's going to be. So we do want to offer, proportionate rewards to those people that do take that leap of faith and lock down their tokens for a full year. That doesn't mean that, we don't appreciate the investors that got in from day one. No, we absolutely do, which is why we did the token redistribution of the unsold tokens. We provided some APR. And we will continually, we have that list of investors. They'll be added to, to our snapshot of investors that will continually be doing airdrops for. If they're NFTs from Minted, if they're additional DOC tokens from DOC, if they're whatever. It really does mean a lot to us. Every investor that we've had who's participated, it means the world to us. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So at the same time, it's difficult to please everybody. So we created a system that we feel just makes the most sense to us. And, when we've seen a little bit of backlash, it seems like a lot of people are pretty stoked about it, as we are, about the utility, about the coming of Marmalade and all that stuff. But I do understand as well, people that have concerns that their investment may be diluted, or that their investment may be, sidestepped and overlooked for to try and get money elsewhere. I get it. Who knows, where minds race and all that. But, our goal is to always provide value to the people that, believe in us. And, we're here working hard, and we're always here to hear the concerns from the community. So that being said, there was a few questions that Mike had sent over to me. And a lot of them seem to have, to be about Docushield itself or Minted itself, and not necessarily the bond. But let's go through those questions right now, and then after that, we'll open the floor for additional questions. So the first one was from Vegan G, longtime supporter, man. We appreciate it. Says, hey, Mike, I might not attend the Doc Bond NFT AMA, but I have a few questions on the Bond NFT. Can I unstake this bond during the staking period and sell the NFT if someone is interested to buy? And the answer there is absolutely. Yeah, you can, as long as you don't lock it down for the full year to get those extra 30 days APR, then yeah, you can unstake that at any point, move it to the secondary market, and sell it to anybody who wants to buy. And, we'll be supporting that ability on Mint It. So what will happen to the earned doc if I unstake it? Now, if you unstake the NFT, you can claim that doc that you've earned immediately. So that's question number 2. And 3, is there any free NFTs since I participated in the doc IDO sale? So this is the cool thing that we've kind of been talking to our partners about. And, and the cool thing about Mint It is we're going to be launching a lot of projects, right? And we're going to be reaching out to a few of these projects if they want to team up with us to provide some NFTs for our holders. And we're also going to be buying some of these NFTs ourselves, and the purpose of those is we're going to build up a little treasury, and we're going to start airdropping, those to just random people in our investment snapshots. So first from the IDO on KDL, and then also from the bond investors. And this is something we continually want to do, not only to support the projects that are building on Mint It, but also to support the community that's been there for us since day one, and show our appreciation in that way. I'm looking over some other questions that we may get back to individually since they're about Docushield and or about Mint It, but not really about the bonds. I kind of wanted to keep the focus on the bonds for right now. So, it looks like that was the main question about the bond. And now I also know that there was some concern about, the price or any of the tokenomics behind it. So I'm going to leave the floor open right now. First, we'll do it on Twitter, and then we'll take Telegram questions. We're doing the multi-platform thing right now, broadcasting on both. So I know I had a few people request to speak on Twitter. If you guys got any questions, please raise your hand and we'll bring you up to go ahead and speak. Anybody on the Twitter Spaces? And I hope that makes sense to everybody, kind of what's going on, why we chose to do it, how it varies from the initial IDO. And this really isn't an IDO, that we're running right here. It's a, a utility NFT that happens to support the cause here for us, keep us moving and rolling, and also provide some additional rewards for those people there. So, again, anybody out there who has any questions on Twitter, listening to the Twitter space, just raise your hand. I'll bring you up. And if not, we'll go ahead and move on to Telegram. So I'll give one other minute. Okay, cool. So nothing really on Twitter right now. As far as questions go, we'll swing over to Telegram now. Batihan, if anybody is requesting to speak, or if anybody wants to go into the chat and put a question right there, please feel free. I see a few people commenting /chart. So chart not available yet. Thanks for the AMA. No problem, H. Thank you. Batihan, were you trying to speak? Sorry.
Everyone can unlock themselves to speak. So please
feel
free to ask anything. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And we'll hang tight and answer any questions that come through. When can we purchase doc bonds? So on the 27th, on Tuesday, we'll be putting the doc bonds up for purchase along with the Alpha Creator Pass. So those will be available at presale.mintit.studio. And I'll go ahead and put the link, presale.mintit.studio. That's going to be the pre-sale link for the bonds and for that, and for the Alpha Creator Pass. Another question, is it possible to use Docushield as IPFS for a public online DApp? IPFS now, how are you guys going to implement it to make the users get more benefit? Could you please elaborate on that? Thank you, Saran. Now, to begin with, the IPFS, the private IPFS that we have is going to be to support the documents uploaded through the Docushield app. But, to elaborate on that question, we're partnering up with Flux, to provide a lot of the infrastructure here, since they also are running their own IPFS network. If you are trying to host a dApp, we can help you through the process by getting you in touch with Flux and going on their public IPFS. Now, our private IPFS network is going to work a little bit differently, since it's going to be primarily used to store encrypted data. We're going to have a little bit tighter restrictions on the visibility behind certain things. But I know that Flux is creating their own IPFS network that is, from what I understand, is ready to go. So if you guys do want to build a dApp and you want to put it on IPFS, we can definitely help guide you in the right direction. Great question. Thank you. All right, no problem. For the ACP, the Alpha Creator Pass, that is for the current whitelisted wallets. Docubond NFT will be for 250 KDA. So yeah, the initial sale is going to be for whitelisted wallets. So you can still get a whitelist for the Alpha Creator Pass. We have a few contests coming away on Twitter, a few giveaways coming up, and for the Doc Bond, you just need to go into the Minted Discord and type in Doc Bond, please, in the general chat for a whitelist role. No problem. The Bond NFT will be 250 KDA. The Alpha Creator Pass will be 100 KDA for whitelist, 150 KDA for public sale. But the Bond will be the same price all the way around. Okay, Saran, can you please explain how the object operators, the O-node operators, and privacy operators work? What would be the difference if I want to use both? So for right now, the privacy operators layer is on hold. As a lot of us may have heard, there has been a lot of talk around Kuro and, the layer 2 that we were using for our privacy layer. And essentially, the privacy node operators, we're going to be running nodes on Kuro. Now, right now, Kuro isn't at a place where it's ready to use. Now, we have a meeting actually with the Cadena team on Monday, where a big part of the questions that we're going to be asking are going to be, how can we participate and how can we help drive, upgrading Kuro ourselves? So at the moment, we are going to be operating, operating without the use of Kuro, depending on how the meeting comes out tomorrow. We may be putting a ton of resources into upgrading Kuro and having that ready for us. I mean, I believe it's very important. I believe it could be used not only by Docushield, but also by Minted as a layer 2 to ensure fast transactions. So that is kind of up in the air. When we first announced the privacy nodes, we didn't know what we know now about the Kuro project. So that's to really nobody's fault but our own for not asking enough questions and digging in. But we did look at the code, previously, and noticed that there was a few things that weren't quite up to date. But now we realize that, a new version of Pact has to be implemented, and which, we're going to find out tomorrow when we talk to the team, what that realistically looks like. So we'll have a lot more answers for you on the privacy nodes utilizing Kuro, after tomorrow. Okay, Budweiser Bernie, you got a question coming in. Love the name. You guys raised enough money through the IDO with Katie launch and now have minted for that project. What are you using these bonds fund for? Why are they different from the IDO funds? Why do you need both capital raise? Also, are you going to create an open book policy to see these funds and how they're allocated? First of all, yeah, we can. I mean, our books are open to anybody that wants to shoot us a message. Kalina, our admin, has done a tremendous job of keeping everything organized. So if you have questions about where the funds have been allocated, how they've been, I mean, we're completely open to opening up those books to you. Now, that would require you guys signing an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, just for protection on our side and things that have been advised to us through our legal team. But yeah, I mean, we're completely open to sharing those books. Now, as for the amount of money raised through the IDO and KDL, it wasn't what we were aiming for when we first priced out development on Docushield. And that's okay. Like I said, we got enough to get us started. We got enough to bring you guys minted. So I mean, that's great. But and I mean, we're super stoked about that. And yeah, there should be funds coming in through Minted. But I mean, we can't put all our eggs in one basket right now. If Minted doesn't jump off the way it does, and we're not trying to gouge people on the amount of royalties. 2.5% is lower than pretty much anybody else in Cadena right now, as far as the percentage of royalties taken. And we're not trying to gouge anybody on those, and we're offering anybody who buys the Alpha Creator Pass half off of those already low fees. So we're not trying to take any money from the community without providing an equal amount of value to the community. And the Doc Bond allows us to do that. Allows us to get another round of funding in, which was the goal initially with IDO number 2, but also provide value to those people who do participate in the purchase of these NFT bonds. So we do need to raise capital because, I mean, if you put a request in to see the books, you'll understand why. I mean, development and great developers are not a cheap thing to bring on. And you'll see that, I'd say 80% of our funds go towards the development and, keeping our developers happy, which is which is one of the most important things to me, is keeping our team happy, and keeping them paid and making sure that they're in here with us for the long run, so we try to treat everyone right. And so, yeah, to answer your question, man, we need the capital because development is expensive. And I hope that answers that question. Anybody that wants to, look into the books or has any additional questions, feel free, shoot us a message. We'll send you over the NDA, and Kalina will get in touch with you and pretty much provide whatever you guys need as far as answers go. KDA team meeting. Tell them to fix the cross-chain tool. It's been unreliable. All right, that's from EOD Vet. Man, there's I mean, we're going in there with an agenda. If I could, I'm sure they've heard it all. They don't need to hear it from me again about what needs to be fixed. We're going to address items such as the Marmalade timeline for things that we need within Docushield, like the content integrity service. And we're going to be addressing things like Kuro and asking how we can, get ourselves involved in streamlining the build out of the solution. So the cross-chain tool, the last AMA with Blockchain Doug, I think, he put it out there that this would be a great opportunity for a company out there to monetize, would be to facilitate, the automation behind the cross-chain transfers. And that's not on our agenda. We have a pretty full agenda. So if there are any builders out there, I mean, I'll say, what they said during their office hours. I mean, it's a great opportunity to monetize, and it's a great opportunity to contribute to the ecosystem. So if there's any builders out there right now who are looking for something to throw on their agenda, I think a tool to facilitate cross-chain transactions is going to be killer. And that'll be something great. So thank you, EOD Vet. Appreciate it. All right, for Doc Fields, this is coming from Uyen. For Doc Fields, we request whitelist and mint it. We want priority. So I'm guessing that's for Doc, the Doc holders and people that invest in the IDO. Yeah, man. I mean, if you invested in the IDO, for sure we want to get you in on the whitelist. There's still places open. So I mean, holler at us, and we'll get you in. Especially on the Doc bonds. We have whitelist spaces open there as well. And we just announced this about 2 days ago, the Doc bonds. We were kind of teetering on whether or not to do anything, but it just seemed like, with the price of KDA plummeting and us running our payroll every other week, we needed to kind of do something to not rely solely on the fees from Minted, So the executive decision was made on my end to implement this bond strategy that we're using, and that's simply to ensure the longevity and the happiness of the team over here, and keeping them paid and keeping everybody fed. Okay, Saran got another question. How is Docushield better than other existing alternatives like Google Drive, iCloud, Dropbox, or any online storage solution? Well, The simple answer to that is we don't have access to any of the data that is going to be uploaded to Docushield. Over 80% of all data leaks are all essentially all hacks are done by people on the inside, right? So people work at Google and they know the value of the data that they have access to. So, what do? Times get tough. They become disgruntled. They access that data. They leak it. They sell it. Now, what Docushield's whole goal is I want to have a solution that that doesn't even let me access your guys' personal records. I mean, we want to respect your privacy to the utmost. And that means that we're providing and we're building a way for you guys and you guys alone to see that private data. There's nothing I can do to see that data. There's nothing Kadena Mike can do. There's nothing any of the node operators can do to see that private data. The only time that gets decrypted is when it's back in your wallet. And that's what makes us leagues different than anybody else out there. Okay, EOD Budweiser Bernie, thank you. No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. EOD Vet, I had to stick the exchangeable comment in there. Yep, I agree. Doc Bond and ACP need Kadena on which chain? So start moving that over to chain 8. Right now, Marmalade is only supported on chain 8. We are going to be we're going to be utilizing chain 8 for anything related to Mintit and anything related to NFTs. Great question. But yeah, everything is going to be done on chain 8 until Marmalade gets distributed across all the other chains. Okay. Saran, the question, currently NFT is developing and becoming a new innovation in the blockchain world. However, many artists, creators still don't understand how to create an NFT. Does DocuBond NFTs solve this problem? Do you have any plans to educate about NFTs to artists outside of non-crypto or outside of crypto, I guess is what we're saying. And yeah, man, that's what we're all about. I mean, our big mission here at Docushield is to be able to onboard the next wave of users to Web3. And so that means a seamless transition, from existing Web2 solutions into the blockchain world. Now, what's really cool about this is our no-code NFT generators. So all you're going to need to do is provide the artwork for your NFTs in layers. So if you want, if you're putting out something like, let's say, the kitty cats, you would have a base kitty, that would be the base layer. And then you would have other layers like for hats, for eyes, for sunglasses, for things like that. So all you need to worry about is having all of these different pieces that are used to create these unique NFTs. You'll upload that into the web application that we have. And then from there, it'll randomly compile all of these different NFTs based on what you provided. And you can even put rarity percentages in there alongside that. So we're going to be putting some instructional videos out on how our no-code NFT generator is to be used. That should be put out really soon. Right now, we have a solution ready to go, but it is after 5,000 NFTs, it starts putting a lot of stress on the browser. So right now we're at the tail end of doing a multi-threaded solution that one of our developers has been working really hard on, and that is going to give us the ability to create something like 10,000 NFTs in under 5 minutes. So it is a little close down the line. We have a solution ready to go. We have an even quicker solution that should be ready to go by the time we drop on the 1st. So we're super excited about that. And when we do that, we're definitely, even before, no matter which one we end up going with, we're going to put out instructional videos on how to use that. So you'll be able to see, and it's really super easy. I mean, we tried to make this easy for anybody that wants to come on and create a collection. Now, that does open the floodgates for a whole wave of people to come in and create collections that, as people had expressed to us before, what if these are rugs or what if they're scams? How do you know? And the easy answer to that, or the quick answer to that, is we don't. But we're going to offer a verification process as well for anybody that wants to get a verified badge. And essentially, that's going to require that team docs themselves to us and provide 2 forms of identification. We make sure they are who they say they are. And have them sign a contract that says if there is a demand by the community for any specific reason to reveal that identity, that they clear that and they're okay with it. So, I mean, if somebody sells out and then you never hear from them again, that's proper reason for the identity to be revealed. This is there's a lot of untouched space when it comes to dealing with blockchain, and all we could do is run these decisions by our lawyers and see how pissed off they get at us. Really, when we come up with this kind of stuff. So, that's where we are right there. So we're getting that agreement drafted up, and that's how we plan on approaching it for the time being. Definitely not a scalable solution for the long term, but it's something we want to be able to provide immediately because, that is important. And if there's a project that just wants to remain anonymous because that's how they want to operate, that doesn't mean they're going to be a rug. That doesn't mean they're going to be a scam. That just means they don't want their identity revealed. And I mean, you guys could have the opportunity to participate in those projects as well. I mean, what you guys do is completely up to you. As far as what projects you believe in, we're not going to sway you one way or another. We're just going to allow the opportunity for projects that want to get verified to get verified. Let's see. Was an AMA but no functionality to raise hand. I hope that's not true. So that was the next question. Hold on one second. So I didn't have the functionality to raise a hand. Don't know why I was not. Or give emojis. What I noticed is the team is constantly pointing to the price of KDA. But we are talking about the DOC price over here. And why is the team downgrading the price of DOC? Because KDA is lower. Never-ending story. Don't get me wrong. The bonds are great, but the pricing is strange. Also, why does the team mention the price is one-on-one linked to KDA for bonds, but the token generation price will be the price of the initial IDO price? So I think I got the question. And maybe we missed out on the first part of the AMA. But really, I mean, man, what happens to KDA as far as the price versus USD? I have no control over. It could go up 50% tomorrow, and then what? Or it could go down 50% tomorrow. We don't know. I mean, we really don't know. So all I could say is that 1 KDA is 1 KDA. 400 DOC is going to be worth 1 KDA. I mean, that's it. The price of USD versus KDA, I wish I had a magic globe to be able to tell you guys what it would be tomorrow and be able to make the best decision based on what it would be tomorrow. But I don't, man. I don't. And yeah, it is a never ending story, dude. Honestly, it is. I mean, but that's just kind of where we're at, And so all I could do is try to make the best decision with the information that's available in the market that we have. And in my heart, I really feel like I put a lot of thought into this and not trying to screw over anybody. This is why we're having this conversation right now and listening to the concerns that are voiced by everybody. Now, I understand where you're coming from now, and I understand why you would disagree, but I don't really see any other way to change it and be fair, without upsetting another subset of people. So, I mean, it kind of is what it is, and we'll see the price of KDA and where it is tomorrow or Tuesday and where it is a year from now. And who knows? I mean, who that screws over or makes happy. I mean, I don't know, man. I wish I had a better story. I don't want to give you any excuses or anything. I just want to tell you guys the exact thought process that was put out behind this, and again, we do want to reward those people that are willing to lock up 100,000 DOC for a year. I mean, that's a big thing, that's a big thing. And it would help out anybody who's a DOC holder. So I wish I had a better answer for you, man, but that's a truthful answer. The only thing we can pair DOC against that doesn't change is KDA. Whether or not the price of KDA changes versus USD, we got no control over. But I do have control over how much DOC we're allocating per KDA. And that's all I can focus on. So I hope that makes sense, man. Okay. Got some more questions coming in. Nope. No more questions yet, but I'm going to stay on the line for anybody who does have questions. And I guess, Kalina, can you try clapping? I see you're in in the Twitter NFT. Oh, excuse me, in the Twitter space. In the Twitter space, they're saying that they can't clap or raise their hand in Twitter. Okay, Kalina claps. So we got the clapping ability available. Thank you, Kay. So if anybody does have any questions on that end, please, raise your guys' hands. I want to answer any of these questions that you guys got. The community is very important to us, and it makes I want to make sure you guys see where we're coming from. Eddie, we got a question right here. Will IDO doc holders be able to stake their doc on October 1st? So we were thinking about that. Now, when we're getting all this, would we do some sort of like a buyback or something, or the ability to let users stake down 100K doc and not have to transfer it into 250 KDA? That's going to add some complexity to the contract that we're already working on. So I don't think you'll be able to go in and automatically stake doc immediately. But so you would have to take that and stake down the KDA. And then so you would be able to take your doc, swap it for KDA, then stake down the NFT. Right now, we're 2 days away. We did want to implement that kind of functionality to automatically take doc, but it's not in the contract at this point. But the contract is still being adjusted and worked on at the moment. IDO, okay, Saran got a question here. IDO investors, will they have any advantages for future? Yeah, we do have a snapshot of all of our IDO investors, as we had mentioned. And we are going to continually be adding incentives to those in the form of airdrops. So, that snapshot is going to remain close to us. And as we grow and as we build and release additional products, and we're going to continually give back to those people who are in those two existing snapshots. First, IDO number one, and then secondly, the doc bond holders. So absolutely, man. Okay. And all right, TQ. All right, no problem. You're welcome. Thank you guys for all the questions. I understand why the questions are out there. And we definitely want to make sure that everything makes sense. Appreciate you guys spending your Sunday with us right here as well. Cool. And while we're waiting for additional questions to come through, I just want to also remind people that Nightbreakers Collection, October 1st, is going live. And Nightbreakers are going to be the world's first transforming NFTs, which is really freaking cool. So every day your NFT is going to be in two states. It's going to be in the regular character form, and then at night it's going to be in this Nightbreaker form. That'll have different abilities, different characteristics. They're all going to be, whether it's the daytime NFT or the Nightbreaker NFT at night, they're all going to have their unique characteristics and rarities along with them. So it's almost like, like getting two NFTs in one. Nobody's ever done this before. We're proud to be here breaking ground with the Nightbreakers crew and with everybody else here on Kadena, with this NFT minting. So that'll be October 1st. Saran, IDO investors. Oh, wait, I already got that question. Sorry. Okay. Back in the spaces. Sorry. If anybody, I haven't really been looking. If anybody wants to speak, can you raise your hand or clap or something for me real quick? Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I'm getting all these questions. Eddie, will this be local time or UTC? We're going to be doing this in UTC time. And we're also going to be going live on the Mint. So we'll be live on YouTube. You'll be able to see that through Twitter. We're pretty much going to try and go live all day. We'll be doing airdrops. We'll be watching, the blockchain for mints from the collection, doing shout outs. We're going to have some special guests. So we'll be going live all day long on October 1st and bringing more good stuff to you guys. Great question, though, Ed. So yeah, that'll be October 1st for Nightbreakers. Nightbreakers on October 1st. After that, on the 7th, we're gonna open the gates for a lot more collections to come on board and start minting their collection out. Some of those collections are going to be free by the provider, and some are going to be paid. We're just excited to get the marketplace populated and full and have things to offer on there. Oh, then okay, he meant the Nightbreakers time change for the NFTs. So yeah, that'll be on UTC as well. So the Kadena blockchain time actually runs on UTC. So we are going to follow that standard set on the block time, and we're going to be speaking in UTC format as well. And we're going to be going live in UTC time. So that'll actually still be the 29th for us here on the Pacific, but it'll be 12:01 a.m. UTC that we go live. About Kuro, are you applying for the grant? Is there a possibility for cooperation with other communities to work with Kuro? Great question, John. And yes, we are applying for the grant. We've already applied twice, and we're going to be meeting with them. And are more than the grant, we are looking to be partners in the building of Kadena. Having Docushield right there on the homepage under the ecosystem section would mean the world to us, and it's what we strive for and what we're trying to prove our value to the community and to the Kadena team. So we're going to continually apply for the grant. The monetary compensation, of course, is great, but really the recognition and the validity of just being, a recognized part of the Kadena ecosystem is really what we strive for. So is there cooperation with any other communities to work with Kuro? Hell yeah. I mean, we'll work with anybody that wants to participate, in building out Kuro. Absolutely. We'll see. And once we get the specs, I mean, we'll be reaching out to other teams to kind of see what they think on it. I mean, I've spoken with, with Steven a bit from Equal Bet about, Kuro and stuff and the problems behind it. And so we'll see if maybe we can break things down into milestones, possibly even work with them. That would be fantastic, man. I mean, we love what they were doing. We love the transparency behind what they did. And, I know they're out there trying to find a home, for their project, and it would be amazing to bring them back into the fold here. So, I mean, who knows? The opportunities are endless when it comes to building out the final version of Kuro. And I would love to work with anybody in the community who wants to participate. If there's anybody out there too that's listening or that you guys know who is a developer that would like to work alongside us, please. I mean, we are always looking for members to add to our team. So shoot them our way. And, the more the merrier, man. I mean, we really want to get this privacy layer and this L2 for speed, not only for privacy, but also for speed out there. All right, Jono, thanks for the answer. Sounds like a good way forward to tackle things. Absolutely, man. We're always looking to the future and the possibilities behind the chain, man. If you look at Marmalade and you look at Kadena and what's being offered, it's unparalleled anywhere else, So, given the opportunity to be first movers here in building out and trying to provide solutions here is an opportunity that, I mean, we just feel blessed as hell to be able to work on. And we would love to include anybody from the community that wants to help us out and, and do the same. So thank you, Jono. Appreciate it. Okay, we see some other questions coming in on Telegram. So in the meantime, on Twitter, if you guys got questions, just go ahead and raise your hand. I'll bring y'all up. And I'm keeping an eye on the Twitter right now for any questions. One requested on Twitter. Here we go. I got Misty Bradley. I'm going to go ahead and I think I accidentally pushed deny. Misty, let me send you a invite to speak. There you go. Okay, we got a question coming in on Twitter from Misty. Oops, where are you at? There we go. And go ahead and unmute yourself and ask away. Thank you.
So basically, do you like Harry Potter?
Do I like Harry Potter? Great question. Great question, man. You know what? Honestly, dude, I've never read a Harry Potter book. I've seen like the first movie, but I think I was just a little too old to get into Harry Potter. Honestly, how is it though? Should I watch, man, or should I read? What do you think's better, the book, the movie?
I like the movies better because they have more explanation about the movie. Yeah, the series.
And those are some big books too, man. Those are some hefty books. So yeah, maybe I'll start with the movie. I also am a wizard, and I've been to actual Hogwarts wizarding school. Hell yeah.
So.
That's right. Well, congratulations, man. I could always use a wizard on our side. So if you want to do some magic and make KDA pump, bro, we'd all love you for it.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Misty. I got another question coming in right here on the Twitter space. So I'm going to go ahead and improve. And feel free. That was from, where'd he go? A-Cut. Let's see. I think he retracted. So, all right, we got more questions coming in on Telegram as well, though. So, Ed 147, I hope Equal Bet hasn't given up on Cadena. It would be awesome if they engaged again. We all know they had issues with Kuro, but would really bring a lot to our ecosystem. Definitely, man. I mean, I've been a huge fan of KDA Bet and Steven and the team behind what they're doing, and I would love to have them back in the fold here. They're just a bright bunch of dudes, and they would bring nothing but good to the ecosystem. So definitely hoping that that maybe we can work together on a solution, or things can progress in a way that would allow them to bring that back. Because I really do feel like their bookkeeping format that they need, that it's only gonna it's gonna work best here on Cadena. And it goes to say a lot too, man, about the team over there at KDA or at Equal Bet. I mean, they came out right before they were supposed to have an IDO, and they told us, hey guys, like, we're not going to take your money because we don't think we can do this in the current state. Now, I mean, that takes a lot of balls to come out and do, knowing that they're going to get backlash and knowing that they could just go ahead and ignore those facts and raise money, So, I mean, nothing but hats off to the team, man. I know some people were frustrated with them leaving KDA, but I mean, really, man, I mean, that just shows how legit these guys were, that they were not going to take they're not going to take your money. They're not going to move forward without knowing they're going to provide this project in a timeline that they had in mind. So again, I got nothing but respect out there for KDA or Equal Bet. And hopefully we can get them back into the fold, man. But whatever they decide, I'm sure it's going to be an educated decision on their end, and we're always going to see them as a legit team, and a legit group of guys. Okay, H Guff, we got a question. How many NFT bonds per wallet are allowed? So it'll be whitelist 2 maximum, public round 5 maximum. That we had set. Yeah, so 2 max whitelist, 5 max public for the bonds, for the bond mints. So cool. Thanks for the question, HGov. Appreciate it. Misty the Wizard, thank you for the question as well. Big shout out to everybody in the spaces. Thank you guys for hearing us out, allowing us to explain, the thought process behind the doc bonds, what we're doing here, why we needed them. And, hopefully nobody feels that, this is just a jab at the initial investors, because that was the exact opposite of what we wanted to do. We just wanted to provide something with additional value to put out there. But yeah, we'll hang around for another couple minutes. It's been on for about an hour right now. I mean, I'll stay on as long as you guys got questions. So, I mean, we definitely want to make sure that everybody gets all the information that they came for. All right. I want to say a big shout out to Kadena Mike. Thank you, man, for organizing all these spaces and the telegrams. Big shout out to Batuhan on the team, who's always there answering questions for you guys when I'm unavailable. And big shout out to Jules on the team. Always, handling what we need to get done to put out, the content that we do. So again, man, I'm very grateful just to have an awesome team on our side. And, Docushield wouldn't be anything without first the community and second the team that we got here who works their asses off, man. I mean, it's Sunday right now and our team's here online waiting for you guys' questions. So big shout out to Kalina, keeping all of our expenses in order, keeping me and the team in check, making sure our lights stay on. Big shout out to Kalina. Thank you very much. Jono, I got a question coming in. Is there a possibility for Docushield and Tempe to team up in some way and help each other out with cloud services, email services, technical programming, and something that benefits both worlds? Absolutely, man. Now, we are in contact with Tempe on a pretty regular basis. I mean, for two teams that are building, it's about as regular as you can get. We love the team at Tempe, man, and what they're doing, what they're providing. And they are planning on putting NFTs out that are going to be compatible on Kadena and with Marmalade. So we have had conversations about that, and we're going to continue to work with Tempe at any opportunity we get. Another team out there that's really working their asses off to put something real out there. Cool. So Ed got another question in. Will all projects on Minted be required to prove a provenance hash, or will it be optional? Nope. So all projects that get put out on Minted are going to come with the provenance hash no matter what. I mean, that's all performed by the platform. So there will be no collections out there that aren't going to have the provenance hash readily available for each NFT and before each mint even starts. So before the mint even begins, before a single NFT is minted, the provenance hash will be made available, and you guys will be able to see that and compare that with the results that come out from each NFT mint, and you'll know that there's been no meddling in the process of minting out these NFTs. So not optional one bit, and it's enforced just the way I think it should be. So great question, though, Ed. Appreciate it. When are we submitting our K addresses for DocBond whitelist? If you go into the Discord and put DocBond, please, the mods will reach out to you and you can send the K address right away. I believe that's how Mike's handling it. Mike, unmute yourself if that's different than how we're doing it. But yeah, I'm not too much up on the Discord myself, just because I got too many. I got Slack, Telegram, WhatsApp. I got all these things open. It's just it's a little crazy in the Discord as well.
Yeah, we got the whitelist form available in the Discord channel. So once you go in and say Doc Bond, please, you will get the bond whitelist. And if you check under support, there will be a channel that says Doc Bond list, and there will be a link straight to the form. And fill out your form, and you'll be all good.
Beautiful. So those people on Twitter who may not have heard that, Mike had pretty much just said, yeah, the Doc Bond whitelist is available, and you just got to put Doc Bond, please, in the general chat, fill out the form that's presented, and you're good to go. So head over to Discord, guys, and the team will be able to take care of you. If for some reason you don't have a Discord, you want to get whitelisted and you're in Telegram, shoot us a line right here in the Telegram, to the Telegram group. Batuhan or Mike should be able to take care of that for you. So feel free to get at them. Thanks for the explanation, Mike. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna scroll around, make sure I didn't miss any questions right now. Looks like we got everybody. Again, I'm gonna look at the Twitter space. If you guys have any questions, just request to speak, and we'll bring you up. Akut, looks like you back. Akut, sorry, there we go. Sounds like we got you up, man. You got a question?
Yeah, man, I got a question. Is it okay?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, man, honestly, I love your project, man. Honestly, I really believe in it.
Thank you.
I'm an investor of Docushield. I was thinking about investing minty stocks. But the thing is that the question I was wondering is that it's going to be fun, but that's my perspective.
Sure.
It's about company swap, man. I've been how can I say, watching the last projects that launch on KD swap. Unfortunately, Casey, Corona, Jody, and I think it was the Arcade fund. Unfortunately, for the last one, there was some problems on the launch, either Camerano, either Azure, or UI, something like that. So, launch was kind of failed. So, the thing is that people kind of get FOMO in the listing.
Yeah.
So, they think like, this is a fail launch. I must sell because everyone's going to sell. So, usually people sell because they get scared and price will go to below. So I'm thinking about hopefully it's not going to be same thing what happened the last projects.
Yeah.
Happened to kind of Docushield because do you guys consider, I don't know, even have the liquidity of your guys maybe put something
Yeah.
I kind of felt it's going to happen because other projects, honestly, they have shit coins, man.
Yeah.
But even it's a good project, people just they don't care because they get afraid it's a fail launch. I'm a fail, man.
I'm gonna sell everything. Yep. Yeah.
This is the idea they have. Unfortunately, I kind of afraid because I also write in the Telegram with please guys make sure that what happened was yesterday. I'm talking about Arcade Fund. What happened Docushield?
Yep.
They say we are working on it, but happened also. I'm kind of thinking about hopefully this is not going to happen Docushield, but this is a real wonderful project. But even though it's a good one, it could be to price very low. People gonna think it's going to be fun. It's not fault, but you guys can affect it by it.
Yeah.
That's a true fact. So you guys want to do something about it? Do you guys have ideas?
Yeah, man. I definitely hear what you're saying, man. And so for people who may not have heard on Telegram, he was expressing concerns over the token generation or the token release on KD Swap and how we're going to prevent the dump essentially that seems to follow all of these other tokens that get released. So the pump and dump, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to, put a proper amount of liquidity up, into the KDL pool. So a lot of what's coming in from the alpha creator passes, a lot of what's coming in from the doc bonds is going to ensure that we can at least provide that 50,000 KDA to provide as liquidity so that, there's not anybody coming in and manipulating the market in that fashion. Now, we are just going to launch on KD Swap to begin with as well. We're not going to try and spread that liquidity too thin. Initially, we wanted to launch both on CADX and KD Swap at the same time. That would look good for us. But at the same time, I want to make sure that we can allocate what's 100% necessary to provide liquidity in a fashion, enough liquidity in a fashion that the token isn't volatile. And that's going to be going through KD Swap. Now, what people do with their tokens the moment they're released, if they dump them, I mean, honestly, man, I have no control over that. I know that our team doesn't have any tokens that that we took out or that we're going to be dumping. So, I mean, there's only so much that we can do as far as our team goes, and the consensus over what happens to the token after the token generation. But the Doc bond also has been introduced to help prevent any outright dumping of tokens, but also maybe lock those things up. So instead of having IDO number 2, where we're putting more tokens out there, instead we're locking those tokens up. So I don't think it's at any fault of the projects themselves who have launched, except that maybe the liquidity was a little low. But I know projects like Jody, who I do not know personally one bit, but without having much traction or much internal revenue yourselves, it's hard to provide the amount of liquidity that's really needed. When you're talking about 50K worth of liquidity, that's almost just on the KDA side, 50,000 KDA. I mean, you guys can do the math that depending on the day, that could be up to $100,000 in USD. So I mean, some projects don't have that type of traction or volume to provide the proper liquidity needed, and they're just trying to make the best with what they have available. I totally get that, but one big reason we're not launching both on CADX and on KDS is because we want to be able to provide the proper liquidity and then make that move over to CADX once we have the proper liquidity to support proper trading over on both dexes. Does that answer your question, man? I hope it does. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I guess you guys have, contract with KDS because you have IDO with them, or maybe you have contract with them that you guys want to launch.
Yep.
KDS swap, something like that. I can't understand. That's why I was asking if there are any ways that you guys can have the off liquidity CADX, but I think I can't that you guys gonna do that. Have off with CADX, or maybe at the same time they're gonna list, right?
Yeah, so we do have plans to list on CADX, absolutely, but and we did want to roll them out at the same time, but if we have 50,000 KDA to invest in liquidity, and we split that between two markets, one CADX and one KDS, that just creates two unstable markets that we're making, ourselves, instead of one solid market. So, we're taking the route where we're going to provide full liquidity to KDS, and we are not going to take the initiative as of yet to list with CADX. After things have the dust has settled on everything, then we'll approach CADX and try to get our listing there again with the proper amount of liquidity on our side, so that things are not so volatile. Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, hopefully everything goes smooth. That's our goal. We're investing heavily in KDS, just like they invested in us, by trusting us to do a launch on their platform. And the team over there is it's great, man. There's not a bad bone in their body that I felt since we've started working with them. They're all about business. They're all about KDA. And there are just some things in the market that we can't control. Ismail, we got a question over here. So thank you for the question, first of all. I appreciate that, man, and I hope we continually gain your trust. No problem, man. No problem. We're wondering what gift you will get for those who are listening to you right now. Please get us excited. Damn. What do I got? What can I do? I love being put on the spot, man. Let's see. I can give. Let me check how much money I got in my wallet. 1 second. I'll give 100 KDA, 50 KDA, 50 KDA to the first people. How do we run an event? So in Telegram and on the space and in Twitter. So in the comments section, in the comments for these, we got 50 KDA each, 50 KDA each for the first person that types in $DocBond, $DocBond. Whoever's first, 50 KDA. One in the Twitter space, one in Jules, you can't win. Keanu can't win. So EOD vet got that forward. $DocBond. All right, cool. And then over here, we still have yet to get anybody in the Twitter comments. Let's see. Oh, and it is Noah. All right, Noah Crypto. $DocBond. So, damn, thank you guys all for participating in that one. We just pulled that one out of our asses, dude. I'm sorry for anybody that didn't win. But we got Noah that's going to get the 50 KDA over here in the Twitter space, and EOD Vet. We got the DocBond. So, fellas, go ahead and send us your wallet addresses. We'll get that sent out to you guys. Surprise Sunday, man. I didn't even know that was going to happen. So, those guys that are quick on your feet, good stuff. Cool, man. Great suggestion. Everybody thank Ismail for putting me on the spot with a giveaway. So thank you, bro. I don't mind, man. Cool. EOD Vet. Mike has yours. Don't worry about it, man. If Mike got your KDA wallet, we'll be sending that over. And Noah, go ahead and sneak in the DMs, bro, and send us your wallet. Cool, man. So thank you guys once again for coming to this space, for joining us in the Telegram, and hopefully getting all those questions answered. Really appreciate it. If there's any more questions, I'm going to stick around for a couple more minutes as well, and get things going. So in the comments, I recommend that you talk to Drew from Wolford Finance to help get more hype behind the project. Might be a good thing. I'll definitely look him up. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate that. The suggestion. Actually, let's see. Dogma. Where is it? 1 minute ago. No. Okay. Cool. All right, guys. Any other questions? Feel free, raise your hand or speak inside the Telegram. Ask it in the Telegram. But yeah, man, we really appreciate you guys. We're super excited about what's coming over the next week. I'm gonna get back and crack in with the team on working, man. We are all just geared towards this release coming up. So thank you guys all. I appreciate it. And if we don't get to any of your guys' questions after we log out right now, feel free to shoot us a DM. Come through to the Telegram channel, shoot your question there, and we'll be sure to answer anything you guys got. All right. So again, another big shout out to the community, big shout out to the team. Thank you guys. We will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.